welcome to lesson 83. This is called Properties of Geometric Solids. Now we've talked about polygons before, and polygons are plane figures which are flat shapes. So they're two-dimensional, they're completely flat. Then we also have solids now, which are shapes that take up space. So they're three-dimensional, they're 3D. These are the geometric solids that we are going to be going over today. We have a cube, which all of you know, are very familiar with, and most of these you probably already know and have learned before since they're taught in the very young grades. So we have cubes, and an example of that would be a dice. A dice is a cube. We have rectangular solids. An example of that would be like a brick or a shoebox. And we also have pyramid. Pyramids, just think of like the pyramids of Egypt. That's what I can think of in the shape of a pyramid. And then we also have cylinders, and that would be like a soup can or even an unsharpened pencil is a cylinder, even though it's long and skinny. If it's rounded completely all the way, it has the top eraser, and then if it's unsharpened, it is flat at the bottom as well. And then we also have cones, just like an ice cream cone, or even if you were to have one of those traffic cones, that would also be in that shape. So we have three different vocabulary words which I do want you to write down. I want you to write down faces, edge, and vertex. Now a face is a flat surface of a solid. So the ones that have faces are cubes, rectangular solids, pyramids, cylinders, and even cones. All of these have faces. However, there is one that I do need to show you as well, which all of you know and are familiar with. We have what is called a sphere. And the reason I didn't draw it is because it's very difficult, takes a lot of time, and very difficult, especially to draw on a whiteboard, an actual sphere. So this, like our globe, would be a sphere, or any type of sports ball would be a sphere as well. And it actually has no faces because there are no flat surfaces on a sphere. So faces are flat surfaces of solids, and we have edges. Edges are where two faces meet. So if I do not have any faces on my sphere, I have no edges. It has absolutely no edges, and therefore it's actually not even going to have a vertex. But all of these others will have some of either of them. So edges, two faces meet, definitely have edges of a cube. All of the straight lines, basically, all your edges are just exactly what you would think of as an edge. It's kind of a thin line where the two faces come and meet together. Rectangular solids definitely have edges. Pyramids have edges. However, cylinders do not have edges. The reason for that being that the flat surfaces, its faces, are up above and down below, and what's wrapped around is a smooth part. It's not considered a face. So a cylinder does not have any edges, and a cone only has one flat surface, only one face at the bottom. Therefore, it does not have any edges either. So the top three here do have edges. And if they have edges, then they also may have a vertex. It has to have edges in order to have a vertex. And for a plural form of vertex, we call it a vertice. So a vertex is where three edges meet. So I have more than three edges meeting together. This would be a vertex. I'll go ahead and show you. Hopefully it'll turn up with a black marker on this blue. This would be a vertex. This would be a vertex. It's almost kind of how you would describe as a corner. This is a vertex. It's where you have edges meeting together. It has another vertex here, another one here. You have this. We actually have 8 vertices, plural form, all together. Same thing with rectangular solid because it has the same amount of faces and same amount of edges. The only difference is that rectangular solids are, of course, rectangular. They are longer. Cubes have all square faces. Then we also have pyramids. Pyramids have edges as well as vertices. Here's a vertice here where I have 3 edges meeting. Right here, I actually have 4 edges meeting. That is a vertex. This is a vertex. We have another one here and another one here. So we have 5 vertices on a pyramid. Cones and cylinders and cones actually do not have any vertices. Again, this is not a vertex What, like most people would think, the very top of a cone is not a vertex because there's not 3 edges meeting together. So even though it's pointed, it does not mean it is a vertex. So that's why it's important to have all of these written down. So for your practice set problems, you're going to do E, F, G, and H based off of this pyramid here. Letter E, the pyramid has how many triangular faces? Keyword triangular, so not how many faces altogether, but how many triangular faces. Letter F, how many rectangular faces? Letter G, how many edges? And letter H, how many vertices? So we'll go ahead and go over those problems together, as well as look at different real life situations and or real life objects that we use every day that fit into the category of these rectangular solids. So thank you very much for paying attention to this easy lesson.